Number 2.
Vikings. Off a bye, they're going to beat Detroit. That's my guess. One of my picks of the week. Off a bye, this team's going to beat Detroit. Detroit's off a huge win, feeling themselves. Only undefeated team in the NFC. Now, again, like Baltimore, my concern is great against the run, not great against the pass. I could see this team going to the playoffs and dominating somebody and leaking oil on the back end, and that's why I have them at 2.
Number 1.
Okay. I'm a little confused. I mean, I understand, I guess, to a degree. When he's saying, like, leaking oil, like, they're going to dominate but leak oil, like, does that mean that he ultimately thinks that this team will not be able to achieve their main goal of winning it all? I don't know. It was a weird way to word it, so I don't want to put words in Colin's mouth here. But these have been the two, right? It's constantly Chiefs 1 and Vikings 2. They've been the most consistent, and especially in Colin's eyes. And the Vikings are in a fascinating position right now because they're 5-0 and they're coming off a bye, and they're facing now they're the best team that they faced all season, arguably the Detroit Lions. But they're doing so now coming off a bye. To my knowledge, this should be the healthiest that the Vikings should be throughout the whole season, unless there's something that I'm that I don't know. If I am, please let me know. And so now you have the preparation, you have the bye, and when you have a great coach, both offense and defense off the bye, like, that's going to put you in a great position. The Lions are, well, like Colin said, are riding super high off of a big emotional win, unfortunately for them, losing Aiden and having that kind of issue. And if the Vikings come away with a win, which is obviously definitely in the realm of possibility, you look at the schedule that they have, and they have like a bizarrely an easy run of teams for the most part. You have the Lions, and then you're gonna play, and it's weird, it's a Thursday night game versus the Rams, and you should demolish the Rams. And then you're gonna play the Colts. I guess technically the Colts could be slightly better depending on who's the quarterback, Anthony Richardson or Joe Flacco. You should beat the Colts. You have the Jags. Everyone's just beating up on the Jags. You got the Jags. Then you have the Titans. You should beat up on the Titans. And then you have the Bears, but the Bears by November 24th, right? The Bears will probably be a significantly better team than they are. Caleb Williams is going to continue to be comfortable, but who knows, right? Who knows how that's going to unfold? That game, it is a divisional game, going to be intense, a lot at stake. But I mean, it could literally just be, 5 wins, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, like, 10-0 is absolutely positively in the realm of possibility. And obviously, of course, 11-0 and onward. And so it's pretty wild that if the Lions should be their hardest game in the next, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. In the next 6 weeks, the Lions are the most sensitive. And then you should have some legitimate easy wins. Now, of course, there's always, like, people drop great teams, the best teams still randomly drop a bad game, right? Like they drop a game versus the Colts, versus the Jags, right? One of those bizarre games where Anthony Richardson is playing and he balls out and throws 400 yards and 6 touchdowns, and people are like, what the heck was that game? Like, those happen every single season. Raiders beating the Chiefs, like, whatever it may be. It just happens to every team. So you can't discount that. It's virtually impossible to predict, but you just look at this and you're like, you could wrap up the division and the number 1 seed pretty much right here in this next stretch, in this month and a half, right? And again, it really, to me, it starts with beating the Lions, because if you lose to the Lions, you got to start to lick your wounds a little bit, and you kind of now have to face, oh my God, we lost, right? We're not perfect. Like, how did we lose? What happened? How did we get gashed on the run game, or whatever it may be, right? Or why Sam Darnold, man, he threw 2 interceptions and no touchdowns. Like, oh no, is Sam Darnold going to turn into a pumpkin? Is he done? And which you guys know, I don't think so. But it's just like, you still have to wrestle with those thoughts. And the team would have to wrestle with those thoughts. And, you have to regroup, and you've never had a loss. So those are the things that end up being possible. Whereas if you win this game, you now beat obviously another divisional team, which obviously is going to continue to help you. You're beating an incredibly hot team that just demolished the Cowboys. It just continues to build the identity of the Vikings, the confidence of the Vikings. And then I think a lot of these guys on the team are believing how great they can be, but there's still a lot of convincing. You're still kind of convincing yourself we can do this. Even the coaches, like, you have this belief, but there's still always going to be some doubt. It's just human nature. You go out and beat the Lions, and you're gonna probably really start to be like, you're gonna start to get the chills and be like, this can happen. Like, we're beating real teams now, right? We're not just beating up on the Panthers and the Jaguars for that matter. Like, we're beating real teams, and when we beat these teams, we're not getting lucky. We're not getting lucky. Oh, when we played the Packers or the Lions or whatever, that they just had a really bad game and a really off day, and it was just like an unfortunate fumble that you can't ever count on moving forward. No, we beat them because we proved to be the better team. Like, the amount of belief that the Vikings team will have will just compound and continue to grow, and it'll just be, everybody will be locked in. And when the coaches say, hey, we can do this year, you got to pay attention to the details. You got to pay attention to the little things. Everyone is going to be more focused, because right now it's kind of still, to a degree, it's early on the season. It's like, yeah, what's up? You're paying attention. You're looking at film, doing all this. And it's like, you keep winning. It's like, you just start to take everything a little bit more seriously. And you're like, all right, like, this is what this feels like. Like, we are a top team in the NFL. Like, we can do this. And it's just that momentum, I don't think, can be understated. And again, when you have that momentum and now you're playing the Rams, who are still banged up, the Colts, who are all over the place, the Jags, who are a disaster, the Titans, my God, who the heck are the Titans, right? Like, you have that momentum, and then there's the possibility that you stroll into Chicago, and Chicago's like, hey, we're pretty good now. Look at us. We're winning games. We got a rookie quarterback. And you wallop them. I mean, like, you just have the ability to just keep building. And I think it's just, I really don't think it can be understated what the Vikings have the potential to do for these next 6 games or so, and more, quite frankly. So, pretty wild stuff. Like, I think there's a lot at stake, and it's truly exciting from my viewpoint. And I think if that happens, you would have to put the Vikings at number 1 and no longer just keep saying, well, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. It would be like, yeah, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, but the Vikings are the Vikings. Stop putting a cap on this. We're leaking oil on purpose to make everyone slip behind us, right? Okay? That's what this is about. We're doing it on purpose. We're making everyone slip and feel that they can keep up with us, and only for them to slip and fall on their face. That's why we're leaking oil. So, gonna be interesting, man. There's so many good games coming up. I always say this, but I really genuinely can't wait. Like, we got some games coming up. The Lions versus Vikings is gonna be so awesome. This is where I'm definitely really excited, because I get to just sit back and just watch 2 great teams go back and forth at it. I talked about this all off season going into this season, how these games, the NFC North is a gauntlet, and I was like, when these games, it's just going to be can't miss TV box office. Every single one of these divisional games for the NFC North should be prime time, Sunday night, Monday night, right? Give us Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, let's go, because these games are just going to be just box office. Oh God, I can't wait. I truly can't. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Minnesota Vikings continuing to be the second best team in the NFL, according to Colin Cowherd? And what do you think about everything I just said about all the games that they got coming up, and the momentum that they have the possibility to build? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.